Everyone, hi. This is Bruce Martin, LCSW, Sunridge of Nevada, coming back to you. We've been off the air for a while. We were quite aware of that. We got your phone calls, we got your emails, and we got your text messages. So we are back. And today we're going to talk about Mental Health Month, which is the month of May, obviously, and also specifically talk about the mental illness depression. As always, here's what we're going to do. We're here to listen to your questions and your comments. No worries there. That's what we're here for. At the same time, though, here's what I'm going to, like I've done before with the other live streams. I want to just break down some facts first about depression, talk about depression, how it relates to young people, and then boom, we'll get right into the questions and we'll just go from there. So here we go. Just some facts about depression, because that is, by the way, far and away the most common disorder of mental illness that people face. It's actually the number one reason why people go to the doctors around the world is for depression issues. And how many people suffer from depression in this planet at any given moment? 300 million people. So it's a biggie. All right. Now, what is depression characterized? It is characterized by sadness, loss of interest, and physical symptoms that impair your daily life. It is not a sign of weakness. That's a very common theme that people have is, I'm weak, I'm weak, I'm weak. It's nothing to do with that, okay? And things that can help are lifestyle changes, psychotherapy, and medication. Now, what are the numbers regarding depression? 1 in 6 adults around the world are going to have it, and it's at some time in their lifetime. 1 in 6. Women are 1.5 times more likely to experience depression than men, and it's the leading cause of disability between the ages of 15 to 44. It's more than just feeling blue. You hear that a lot. Oh, blue, blue, blue. No, it interferes with your daily functioning for weeks or years, and it has things like aches, fatigue, and appetite changes. It's not common with depression that people will gain a lot of weight, lose a lot of weight, and just feel like blah most of the day or for a significant part of your life. It'll last for several years. All right, some of the things that we know about depression, what are they caused by? Your brain chemistry, the biological issues, environmental stressors, I know about that, and then, of course, genetics. Now, what are the different types of depression? Yeah, what's called major depressive disorder. That's intense sadness or apathy lasting for over 2 weeks. Then there's what's called PDD, persistent depressive disorder, depression lasting 2 or more years. Bipolar, that's switching between the mania, the high moods, and then the low, which is your depressed moods. And then there's prenatal or postpartum depression, which affects over 10% of mommies. So women are susceptible to having this. Now, what does depression often lead to is suicidal thinking, what they call suicidal ideation, and it leads to over 700,000 deaths annually around the world. Okay, Bruce, how many people in the United States commit suicide every year? For a while, it was really trending upward year after year. It's leveled off a little bit, but it's about 55,000 people a year in America will commit suicide. I've also discussed in previous videos where people do commit suicide. The numbers are probably higher, but for various reasons, people just don't want to disclose that. Could be for religious reasons, could be for family issues you want to keep private. It could be for financial issues, like life insurance policies. So it's probably higher than 55,000, but those are the official numbers that are being used. So this question gets asked to me a lot. Bruce, if someone commits suicide, or if I commit suicide, no one's going to care. I'm a loser. I'm a loner. I don't know anybody. I have no family, no kids, no relationships, blah, 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 blah. Okay. They did a study on this of people that commit suicide. On average, 135 people are affected by the suicide. So don't ever think that your death is meaningless and no one's going to care and just, scatter my ashes stuff. No, 135 people are going to be affected. That's the average number. Could be obviously higher. So just be aware that if you get into that mood, you do mean something to other people. Okay, now I wanted to go over myths of depression. There's a lot of myths about depression. I wanted to clarify this. I wanted to clarify this. Number one, depression is not just in your head. That's a very common remark people are going to make. Oh, you don't have any problems, man. What are you talking about? You're ridiculous. No, it's a psychological, social, and biological disorder. It's a combination of things. It's not just in your head. It affects every aspect of your body. Our bodies and minds are very connected. I tell this to people all the time. There was a book written by a guy a few years ago called The Body Keeps the Score. When you're under a lot of pressure, depression, anxiety, stress, it affects how you think. It affects your health issues. It affects your ability to bounce back from things. So that's a huge issue. So I want to make that really, really clear. When we're physically sick, right, we emotionally can feel like a wreck. You talk to anybody that's dealing with chronic pain, and they'll tell you that. Man, every day it is difficult to get out of bed. Of course it is, because you are depressed. And then when you have physical symptoms, like you're dealing with, daily pain, chronic pain, life is not easy. It's very understandable why people who go through this will often think about committing suicide. Okay, depression is not only brought about by a traumatic event. That is not true. Okay, people, let's say you lose someone in your life that you're close to, a family member. You're going to be sad. That's normal. That's expected. But what happens is you have it going on for longer and longer with deeper issues, more frequently. Depression is going to have the same feelings and more frequently. That's different than just being sad. Depression is much, much, much more serious, and it lasts a lot longer. Okay. Don't think that medication is your only option. That's a very common falsehood also. If I take meds, I'll be fine. Meds are helpful, but they have different techniques to work with people who have depression. One of them is called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, where you work on basically your thinking patterns and emotional responses and how to have a better day. So it's not just meds. All right. Then depression isn't a normal part of life. It doesn't have to be. And those who deal with it don't have to make the journey alone. Get the help you need. It's not a normal part of life. Don't just wallow in it for the rest of your life. Now, if a family member has depression, you won't necessarily have it as well. That's another big myth. Oh, I come from a family that, because we took it from things like I'm 6'5", my brother is 6'7", so everyone in our family has to be at least 6'3". We're looking at genetics. Or I wear glasses. My sister wears glasses. My dad wore glasses. My mom wore. Okay, we look at that with certain aspects that these things are going to follow us. However, that does not mean you will necessarily have depression as well. Even if one member of your family has it, that doesn't mean you're going to get it. It's like a 50% chance. It's not 100%. So I wanted to clarify that. The people who do have it around you will have a better sense of it and how to deal with it, but does not necessarily mean that you're automatically going to get it. Number 6, depression does not look and feel like the same for everyone. That's another thing too. Oh, you're depressed? I went through depression. All right, not true that everyone has the same issues. My depression is very different from your depression. The same thing with this channel. The brilliance of my agent/producer was making me realize that we could do a Kendrick song, which we've done a lot of, and I can get 10 people in a room and they're going to have 10 different versions on how they saw the song. That's the greatest thing about music. It's so individualistic. And I've even had people who send in comments about, say, that particular Kendrick song, and they'll say, I got this out of it. I got this out of it. I saw this out of it. They're taking it on a different level because it relates to them on an individual level. The same thing about depression. Okay. A biggie is that women are the only ones who aren't the only ones who get it. Right. It's not true that just women are. Not just women, guys get it also. All right. It's not that different on the way they have it now is like 10.5% of women get it and they have like 6.2 for men, which is not statistically that big a jump in a difference. Why the guys have a smaller number? Because guys still have this feeling of, if I share, I'm weak. If I share, I'm not a man. I'm a wussy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not strong. So that stigma, thank God, is pretty much being broken down day by day. But women are more quicker to report it versus guys. Okay. And again, with depression, it's going to be different for different people. Okay. Just give you an idea for the guys, what signs of depression you see for an adult male. You feel angry, you get tired, and have a hard time meeting daily responsibilities. For women, you're overeating, not wanting to eat at all, or you have aches, pains, headaches, and cramps. Another myth. Therapy is only for a select group of people. Wrong. Okay. And particularly they in this one, they actually say therapy is everyone, including Black Americans. I dealt with plenty of guys, black guys and black, who told me I'm depressed. So I don't really see that with people I work with. But just realize this. Don't listen to other people when they tell you you can't be depressed. It's not in our culture. It doesn't exist. That's kind of silly. If you have it, you have it. Go get help. Don't fall into what other people are telling you, because they're going to be wrong. All right. Depression is not the same as feeling sad. All right. Here's the problem. When you're dealing with sadness, that's okay, but it doesn't go as long as it is if you're having depression issues. Everyone gets sad. Everyone has problems every day, and they deal with it. But depression can last for a few weeks to an entire year. That's a long time to be going that. And people with depression have many other emotions other than feeling sad. So just be aware of it. And it doesn't go away. Like with sadness, they're like, come on, man, let's go and play basketball. Come on, let's go out for dinner. Let's get a couple of drinks. Depression doesn't operate that way. It's a much more pervasive issue. So it's not the same thing as being sad. Depression is a big deal. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. You got to be careful. It's a serious issue. And, you can start even create problems for yourself. Like, I'm so angry, I'm going to mess up things around me. It requires treatment to manage and overcome it. All right. Last one, and a biggie. Depression isn't a sign of weakness. It's not. You're hurting. You got a broken leg. You're going to walk around with a busted leg? Same thing with depression. If you have it, seek help. Don't try I'm a tough guy. Nothing bothers me. I'm immune to it. I eat this for breakfast. No, you don't. Nobody says I want to be depressed, and depression does not discriminate. All right, I got one more quickie article, and then the phone is open, where the lines are open to start putting in comments and questions. Any questions you have, I'm free to listen to. I'm also quite, as you guys know already, I could talk forever, so it's not a big deal. All right, I want to talk about this one because our audience tends to be so young. Depression in teens and young adults. It often manifests itself as extreme irritability, social withdrawal, and intense sadness rather than just low mood. It affects your daily functioning. It leads to poor school performance, loss of interest in hobbies, and strained relationships, with 40% of high schoolers reporting persistent sadness or hopelessness. All right, I want to clarify that. So the things I'm looking for is you're irritable, you're socially withdrawn, and you're very, very sad, rather than just having a low mood. And it affects your daily life, affects your grades, things you used to enjoy, you don't enjoy, and you have strained relationships, particularly with your family. What are some of the key behavioral and emotional changes? You got irritability and anger, okay? And how are kids going to show it? Tantrums, moodiness, constant anger. Social isolation, withdrawing from friends and family, very common. Hey, man, come on, we're going to the park. We're going skateboarding. Hey, want to listen to some music? You want to go get lunch at McDonald's? Nothing. Staying in bed. When I've worked with kids that were in foster homes and I'd go do groups on Sunday, I'd say, hey, this guy get out of bed this weekend? Yeah, he's been in bed since Friday playing video games. Let's see, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's 48 hours. Just played video games all day, all weekend. Didn't get out of bed. Is in underwear all day long. He has a problem here. Depressed, loss of interest, anhedonia is what it's called. Academic decline. You're emotionally sensitive, and the physical effects are you're going to have fatigue, problems with sleep, appetite, gain, lose weight. Oh, my body aches, physical problems. Oh, I got my shoulder is killing me. Oh, my back is tight. And long-term effects is going to be risky behavior, self-harm, suicidal ideation. Okay, that's information I wanted to share. You got questions? I'm going to try and give you answers. Hit me up right now. We are free. The board is clean. We're looking for info, and we want people to come talk to us. So I'm going to let people get the confidence to jump in the water. Temperature is fine, and do some talking and kind of explain where things are at with us and with our channel. Okay, so the reason why we weren't able to post the way we wanted to was for a couple of factors. My producer needed to take some time off, and I had to take some time off. And it just didn't give us a chance to really be back in front of the camera in depth the way we wanted to. Kudos to the people that reached out with messages. Where are you? I miss you guys. When are you coming back? And I responded to those people to let them know we were going to be coming back. We weren't going to drop the channel. We see the impact it has, and we have more faith in it than ever that we can get some financial rumination out of it to keep it going. But I've even had people that had never saw the channel before that got interested and started calling and saying, hey, I like what you did. This is really interesting. This is very different. Please keep on making these breakdowns. We enjoy them. So, I just talking to him today. I mean, I speak to him on the phone a lot, but just talking to him today, he's telling me about some more things that are going on in his life. And all I can go like this, he's just a wonderful role model as a parent, as a father, as a husband, provider. He's just a great guy, and I really have to admire him. As for myself, dealing with a lot of things. And it's interesting because some of the things that I've had to deal with in the last year or so have been like, wow, very depressing, very difficult, very hard to handle. But the attitude is I have to keep on moving. I have to keep on swimming. That is just the reality of the situation. So we're going to go back to doing the videos. What we're probably going to do is that we're going to do live streams, and it may not necessarily be on YouTube anymore because I'm just finding out there's a lot of changes going on with YouTube. It might be on Twitter or X, but we're still going to let everyone know what we're doing. And what we're going to do is go from a live stream format. We'll charge a price for that. Let's say $9.99, and to get a certain number of people, let's say just 100 people, and that will give you literally like 2 hours, almost like a concert of a topic that you guys find relevant to you. We've learned from our numbers over the years that the three biggest topics that we got was one, I grew up without a father. Two, I was a victim of some kind of abuse, whether it was physical, sexual, emotional, blah, blah, blah. And three was, what do I do with my life? I'm very confused. I live my life on the phone, and I know I have problems with communicating with people. So what do you recommend? So that's probably where we're going to go with this. We've tried different formats over the years. None of them really that successful. So we're just going to work on, we want you people to come back and watch us, obviously, and, subscribe, of course, blah, blah, blah. But that's pretty basic. But at the same time, we're going to do live streams where you'll have a chance for 2.5 hours to talk to me and ask any kind of questions you have. Today's a tough day. It's Friday, in the middle of the day for us here in the Pacific time. I understand that. But we wanted to have like a coming out party and just reintroduce ourselves. We're not going to shy away from the music. The music is always going to be integral to us. But from the music, we want to have the live streams where people can start asking questions primarily of issues that seem to affect everybody, which is I didn't grow up with a father or a stable home. I was a victim of some kind of abuse. And where do I go in my life? Because I am confused and I don't know what direction to go in. And that's really what it's going to come down to. I'll give you an example about May being Mental Health Month. I found out last week of someone that I knew had committed suicide due to chronic pain, and I hadn't had in touch with this person for a number of years. At one time, we were very close on a professional level, and then drifted apart. These things happen, and I heard the news from someone else. I had no idea that it happened, and I felt, obviously sad. It was emotional, for me. She and I, using, what it was, but she and I were close, very close. Unfortunately, she was dealing with chronic pain. And when you deal with chronic pain, it means you wake up in the morning feeling hurt, you go to bed at night feeling hurt. Athletes can understand this better than most. And you're always in some kind of jeopardy. And her pain came back and she couldn't do anymore, and that was it. It's amazing also, no matter where I go, no matter who I meet, white, black, brown, yellow, even the aliens at Area 51, that someone has suffered from some kind of abuse, whether it's sexual, physical, emotional, mental. You think, how is this possible? Everyone has these same issues. And I realize over the years just how pervasive these issues are, in the sense of not really understanding why your life is the way it is and why you're so unhappy. The focus of the channel has always been to use music as the bridge to get you to understand about yourself better and talk about yourself better. And what's always interesting to me is someone recently on a Kendrick Lamar song, one it was specifically called Mirror, they said, hey, I want to meet with you, not meet with me, I want to talk to you about my relationship with Kendrick. And my response back to him was, listen, I didn't know the guy. You knew him. I didn't know. We didn't grow up in the same elementary school. But here's my email address. Contact me. Let's share numbers, and let's talk to each other. I've done that probably about 6-7 times over the years that people have called in and were wanting me to talk to them directly. And I've talked to them directly every single time. And who does that? That's so unusual for any channel. I don't care whatever channel you're looking at, for the person to come back and say to you, let's talk, let's share, let's pass along information to each other. I don't mind doing that. I want the channel to be as accessible as possible and to let you guys feel that, hey, we are bringing something to the table and we're not afraid to mix it up with the fans. In fact, I actually like when we do that because it gives me a chance to get to know people better, and then you guys can spread the message. And that's not a problem. So I said, hey, give me shoot me out an email. Here's mine. Contact me. We can go from there. And it's the same thing that we're going to start doing is we're going to start pumping out the videos. My producer, again, he has more things going on in his life. Not surprising, but we'll dance around that. That's not a problem. But what's going to be is we're going to have the live streams probably every couple of weeks, I would say. And $9.99 is going to be our starting price. It's never going to be excessive. But I want to give people an option besides using your insurance and maybe feeling like I don't really understand this guy, but man, Bruce understands me. And by the way, we're not just, I know we skew young. I've seen the numbers. We're like 15 to about 32. But you could be 65. You can be 50. You could be a parent trying to figure out what to do with my daughter. Or issues like I used to be on drugs. Now I'm trying to be stable. I'm not sure I'm going to really respond and be accurate with this. But you know what? Let me talk to this guy. He's a father. He went through this with his own children. Let me ask him if he can give me some advice about this. So that's what the channel is really for. It doesn't really make a difference what your age is, what your background is, where you're from, who you're at. We don't really care about that stuff. We want to give you information that's solid, that's logical, that's realistic, and give you like a starting point with like a treatment plan and a game plan on how to go forward with your life, so that the things that you've experienced as a young person doesn't follow and carry you over into your adulthood. which no one wants to have when that's going to be lousy. Or I can't connect with people. I don't know how to relate to women. Don't know how to relate to guys. I'm confused. I can't get a jump start on my life. I feel like I'm lost, that things are hopeless. We want to give you a chance to see what direction you can go in that's going to be safe for you. Right now, again, we're hitting it out here, so I'm going to kind of come to the end and just letting you know the screen is clean. So if you want to give a last second question or comment, that's fine. We just want to let you know we're back. Okay? We're back. We're back. We're back. We're going to stay back. We're going to do the same thing we did before because it worked out phenomenally well. And we're just going to tweak it here and there. But other than that, we're going forward. So if I don't see any last questions on the board, which you're not seeing, that's fine. We're dipping our toe back into the water. Again, Bruce Muffson, LCSW, Sunridge, Nevada. We're back. Bye-bye, guys.